Hey, what's up, you guys? The Dark Side here, back in with another video, and today we're going to take a look at the Marvel Legends series Deadpool Wolverine movie X-23. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you guys if you feel so inclined to please like and subscribe. It really does help my channel and is absolutely free. Check out the packaging over here. It's pretty much the exact same thing that we've seen with all the other Deadpool Wolverine movie figures. Marvel Legends series at the top, X-23, Deadpool and Wolverine. You got the window box in here with a nice background of some crayon drawings from Deadpool, I presume. At the side, you got the window box continuing along, Marvel Legends series at the top, X-23, along with a profile digital render of the X-23 figure. At the other side, you got that same digital render, X-23 at the top, Marvel Legends series. At the back, you got a nice little description describing X-23. If you want to read it, you can go ahead and pause it now. Marvel Legends series, X-23, all the other figures you can collect inside the wave, a bunch of legalese and copyright notes. Top has the Deadpool Wolverine logo, and the bottom over here has a bunch of more legalese along with the UPC code. All right, so X-23. I don't really know much about this character in the comics, although I did come and grow to like her, and I'm sure it was the case with many other people inside of the Logan movie. The Logan movie was absolutely fantastic. It was a great send-off for the character, even though, it wasn't really much of a send-off, as, we did get him back in Deadpool Wolverine. But it was an absolutely fantastic movie, and Dafne Keen, who played this character, X-23 character over here, Laura, she was absolutely amazing in that movie, and it was great to see her again in the Deadpool Wolverine movie. Although, it didn't really make sense, like timeline wise, and the interconnectivity of the worlds, because like I would imagine she would be of the same world that Deadpool exists in, or I don't know. Within the X-Men saga, there's been so many issues with where the timeline is placed and everything. It's just whatever. Anyway, it was just great to see her back in this, and it was great to see her next to Wolverine again inside of his comic accurate suit and all. And I'm very glad that we got a figure over here as well too. As for accessories over here, we can see that she does come with a pretty fair amount. Apologies for the head sculpts over there. There's no real good way to place them, as they've got some thick plastic hair pieces. But yeah, it's a pretty good amount over here. You got two extra heads. As far as I can tell, they're pretty much both the same. You got one where the hair is just straight down, and it's just a pretty neutral face. And then the other head sculpt over here is pretty much the exact same face, but you got the hair blowing in the wind. So like this is pretty nice, I guess. You got two different styles if you want to get her in an action pose in some way. But anyway, she also does come with two extra hands. So she's got the hands where it's just mainly the claws coming out, and then these extra hands are just where it's open. One thing to note is that they aren't really consistent with the others, as they don't have like the kind of gloves that are the half gloves that are going on with it. So, uh, I'm at least, happy that they included extra hands, but not really accurate. And then you do get sunglasses. So the sunglasses, obviously the iconic sunglasses from Logan that she also wore in the Deadpool Wolverine movie. They fit onto both of the heads. So that's absolutely great as well too. Although you don't get an extra one like with the Blade figure. I find that quite interesting. And then other than that, you got a backpack over here, which is pretty nice, and it fits onto her pretty good as well too. And then you do get the Juggernaut helmet that was used in the movie to stop Cassandra Nova's powers. And if you want to see the helmet on Cassandra Nova, here's what it looks like as well too. All right, so taking a look at the figure itself over here, I think they did a pretty good job. It is just a person in regular clothing, so there's not really, much going on in terms of detail with this figure. But as I said with the head sculpt over here, I think they did a pretty good job. It is pretty neutral, although, that's kind of what X-23's whole thing is that her face always kind of looks pretty neutral, so I'm not too upset about that. Yeah, I think it looks like Dafne Keen. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. I got the World Tour Savage shirt going on over here. I think the printing's pretty good. You can tell there's a little bit of blurriness going on there, but overall, I think it's not too bad. She's got her jacket here as well too, which looks pretty nice. And yeah, I think that the sculpting here looks really good as well too. Just someone that's in a regular kind of suit, or at least not even a suit, it's more so just regular clothes. um, I think they did a pretty good job on it. It's kind of hard to mess up, but anyway, you got the belt over here as well too. This is printed on. I'm not a huge fan of this because this Yeah, it looks very toyish to me. But she's got the belt here, which is painted separately, which is nice. And then you got the pants with all the wrinkles going on. So it looks pretty good over here. And yeah, these boots here too look pretty nice as well. And you can see that, she does have the claws that come out of the feet, which is present here as well too. They are not removable as far as I can tell. Um, maybe, oh, never mind. They are removable. They weren't coming out earlier, but yeah, if you wanted to have it just as the plain boots, you'll just have a hole in there. But yeah, I didn't know that was actually removable. I was trying to get that out earlier and it didn't come out. But anyway, I guess it worked on camera over here. Yeah, boots look pretty good. You got a bit of treads going on, along with two peg holes at the bottom of the feet. In terms of articulation, it's not too bad with this figure over here. With this hair piece, you can get the head to move up just slightly, move down pretty decent, and then move side to side and pivot. It is on one of those double joints with the neck and the head, so you got a bit of extra range in there. If you wanted to see the articulation with the windy kind of hair, because there is a little extra gappage, so it allows for a bit of extra articulation, you can make her look up pretty good, and then you can look down like that. You can move it to side and a bit of pivot as well too. Arms over here do have a bit of I wouldn't really necessarily call it a butterfly joint, but there's a little extra gap in there, so you get a bit of extra range in that sense. You can move the arms up just about there, but I would be careful because, as you can see, these are a bit of like a more bendable material, so this is going to pop off anytime soon. So yeah, just be careful with that. Anyway, up, down, you have a bicep swivel that goes up to where this piece of the jacket is here. You got double jointed elbows, which move in pretty good around there. You got some wrist articulation, which is a swivel and a hinge, and that is consistent with these hands as well too. It's the exact same hinge that's an up and down. You do have a diaphragm joint in here. It is slightly hindered from the jacket, but got a little bit of range going on there. You got a waist swivel, so that's pretty nice. You can kick up just about there and then back a bit on an angle. You can do the splits over here as well too. Just about that. I don't think anyone's going to be pulling off splits like that in these types of jeans, so I would say that's pretty good. And then you got a thigh swivel in here. You got double jointed knees in there, so that's pretty good. And you got some ankle articulation. Oh, sorry, also boot swivel. I didn't even realize that. Boot swivel there as well too, and then some ankle articulation, which is down about there, pretty good. Up about there, and then some pivot. As for comparison over here, we have X-23 next to the other figures that I reviewed in this wave. You got Blade and Wolverine, brown suit Wolverine at that. And yeah, she scales pretty good over here. Then as for extra comparison over here, we have her next to Professor X, Charles Xavier, and yeah, she looks pretty good next to him. I don't have that original Logan 2-pack. I wish I did, but I'm sure that she would look great next to those two as well. And then you also have the original Deadpool figure here as well too. If you want to compare this figure to some figures that you have at home, we can see over here that she does stand just over, I'd say between 5.5 inches to 6 inches tall. All right, so final thoughts on this X-23 figure. I obviously like this. There's a reason why I bought it. I want to add it to my MCU collection to put alongside Professor X and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. And yeah, I've always loved that Logan movie. I'm glad, that we finally got a figure of Laura over here. And, she was great in the Deadpool Wolverine movie. So absolutely fantastic. And I'm very happy to add her. Now, as for the figure itself, there are a few issues going on with it, but overall, I think it is a pretty good release. She's got a fair amount of accessories, like the inclusion of the backpack. I like the inclusion of the Juggernaut helmet, especially. But those extra hands over there, they aren't accurate to the other hands that she comes with. So I think that was kind of lazy on Hasbro's part. But, they just could have not included any extra hands. So I'm at least happy that they went ahead and did that. I like the inclusion of extra heads, although I would have kind of wanted to see one with, maybe a bit more emotion. I've talked about this with other figures that I absolutely love it when these action figure companies go ahead and add like different facial expressions with those figures. Like for the recent Blade one, he's kind of got that smirking one going on. And like just all the figures are neutral faces. Like just put a little emotion into them and make them more alive, right? They stand out on your shelf a little better with that. there's a whole big rant I'm doing, but with this character, it makes sense that she's a bit more neutral. She always looks neutral whenever you see her on screen, so it's not a big deal at all. Yeah, with that, the accessories I do think are pretty nice. I also like the inclusion of the sunglasses. That was an absolute must, and I'm glad that they did that as well too. In terms of the figure itself, the articulation is yeah, it's decent. It's decent. For I know for female characters that Hasbro's done in the past, they always skip out on the articulation. And on here, I think it is pretty good. It's good to the point where it needs to be. And then also, as for the sculpting, I think the sculpting is pretty nice as well too. I'm not sure if there's any reuse going on with it, but overall, I think they did a pretty good job with replicating her look in the film. So yeah, overall, like I'm pretty content with this figure. As for rating, I'd probably stick with an 8 out of 10. I'm not so comfortable with going to the 9 or 10 kind of range with this figure. I'm not really sure what it is. I think it's just the quality of the plastic maybe and how I was talking about with the arms. But, you know, if you are a fan of X-23 in those movies, this is I highly, highly suggest picking up. With that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought about this figure. Let me know what you thought about my review. And as every YouTuber begs you to do, please like and subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.